Okay, so I'm going to pick up where I left off. This says or, so we know we've got shading going this way. Open circle at 1, everything that's less than 1. Or means it can't be both at the same time. You can't be less than 1 and bigger than 5. This should be a filled in circle. Okay. And this goes forever that way. And you can't be in you can't be in both of these places at the same time. So this one gets a very interesting looking interval notation. This is inequality notation. This is what the graph would look like. And here's what your interval notation. You just do them separately. You do 2 separate ones. Just like this is 2 separate inequalities, you do 2 separate intervals. So the first interval starts over here at negative infinity. And it stops at 1. Okay, starting place, stopping place. Starts at negative infinity, stops when I get to 1. 1 is not included, so it gets a parentheses. Infinity always gets a parentheses. Okay, I'm going to leave a little space because there's a symbol that I have to put right here. I'm going to go ahead and do this one first. I'm going to leave a space right there for that symbol. Now I've got to do the second interval, starting place. Read it left to right. So I start at 5. That's my starting place. And it stops. Well, it doesn't stop. That means that it goes to positive infinity. Okay. 5 was filled in. So 5 gets a bracket. Infinity always gets a parentheses. Okay. So this is what my interval notation would look like. Negative infinity, comma, 1, with parentheses around both of them. Bracket, 5, start back up at 5, and then go to positive infinity. And then we're going to put this U in between them. The U stands for union. Okay? That U is the union symbol. Whoops. That's the symbol for union, and union just means that we are going to take these 2 separate pieces of information and consider them both part of the answer. We're going to union them together, okay? So let me flip back over there and check one more, see if there's anything else. Okay, if this says x is any real number, okay, I'll do that one with you. If it's any real number, then that means that on the graph, if it's any real number, that means that your number line, your entire number line is shaded. Let me do shading this way. Your entire number line is shaded. Okay, so the whole thing is shaded, and it doesn't matter where you number. Okay, so if this was 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. Okay, the entire number line is shaded. That's all real numbers. Okay, so the entire number line should be shaded. How does that look in interval notation? Keep in mind you should do it the same way. We need 2 numbers. The place where the shading starts and the place where the shading stops. And you're always reading from left to right. So on the left-hand side, where does the shading start? Well, you may say, Ms. Burkett, it doesn't start anywhere. It's just always going. You're exactly right. That means it started way back here at negative infinity. Well, where does the shading stop? It goes all the way to positive infinity. Infinity always gets brackets. So for interval notation, this is the way we say all real numbers. Okay, you can't use inequality notation to say all real numbers. You have to write it out in words. That's why this one doesn't have a symbol. It just says x is any real number. They could have replaced the word with any with all. X is all real numbers. Okay, but that's what that one would look like. So spend the rest of your class time, please, finishing this assignment. And once you get done, you can turn it in. We will be using interval notation at the beginning of our next lesson to discuss domain and range.